Hey guys, Michael here with Hello Cupcake. It's me, and today is the Saturday check-in. Today is November 6th, 2021. and yeah, it's wet and wild out here in the Pacific Northwest today. This is like day 747 of rain. No, not really. We actually had a day or two where we didn't have rain, but it's been on and off and typical winter weather here in the Pacific Northwest. Before we get into it, if you haven't done so already, please hit like and subscribe, and hit the little bell notification icon. And yeah, so man, there's just been it feels like this week has just like really dragged on. So much going on, but at the same time nothing going on, if that makes any sense at all. Or maybe that's just my bipolar mind, I don't know. But you know, it's been just one of those things where like hurry up and then nothing, hurry up and then nothing. And it's not like there's like a little break up here, and then there's like a ton of stuff to do at this time, and then from like 1:45 to 1:47 you have a little bit of a breather, and then it's like go 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 go. And then there's other times where it's just like you look at the clock, it's 11 o'clock. You look back at the clock, it's 10:59. Like how did we lose a minute? So yeah, a lot of that kind of experience with me this week. Yesterday I went out with a friend of mine. It was today's actually her birthday, but yesterday we went out and we celebrated a little bit. I had a little bit of extra money, not a huge exuberant amount. And for any of those who have followed my channel for a while, you know my financial situation or whatever. But yeah, so we went and had Chinese food because it was like the cheapest place that we could possibly think of to go and have dinner. I got like General Tso's and like a little egg drop soup or whatever, and it was like $10. I was like, yeah, anytime you can go and eat out, one, that doesn't require vaccination, and two, that is like under $15 per person, I'm all about that. I'm like, let's do this. So yeah, we did that, and then we went to the Dollar Tree, and I had to pick up like a couple of little items. I wanted to get one of their stupid flimsy Dollar Tree cookie sheets and could not find one, so I ended up getting like a brownie pan, which is a little bit deeper and smaller than what I wanted. But you know what, for $1 I'm not going to complain, because even if I went to like Goodwill or something like that, it's going to be $2 or $3, and I'm just like, what I'm going to use it for, if it gets destroyed, I'm not going to be like that put out by it. So got some packing tape, because for whatever reason I don't have any clear tape at all. Like all the clear tape that I have is double-sided, and I'm like, why the hell did I buy double-sided tape? But I think it was one of those, oh, there's tape, grabbed it off the shelf and brought it home, and then realized, oh, this is yeah. And then after the Dollar Tree, we went to the movies, and I had some built up points on my Regal Rewards app, and so I was like, you know what, free ticket. And we went and we saw the Eternals last night, and I am so happy that Marvel / Disney is starting to do some of the lesser known comic book characters, because I'm a huge freaking comic book nerd. Actually animation nerd, not like anime like Japan animation. Like I like that stuff too, but more like comic book type animation. Superman, Batman, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, X-Men, you know, that whole gambit of characters and stuff like that. That was like my anti-drug growing up. Even though I grew up really like piss poor and constantly having utilities shut off and never really knowing where my next meal was coming from or whatever, any money that I could squirrel away, that was what I spent it on, was like going to the comic book baseball card shop. And I used to collect comic cards, and I don't think I have any like right here that I could show you what I'm talking about. I probably should have, but I do these videos unscripted, so I never know what I'm going to talk about. But anyways, they're like little baseball cards, but they had comic book characters on it, and then on the back of it gave you stats and information about those characters. So I used to have a huge folder filled to the brim with these stupid cards. And well, they're not stupid. They still hold a huge like sentimental value to me, even though I no longer have them because they burnt up in my house fire in 2003. But that's how I spent my childhood, was collecting those cards. And it was like something that special that I did for myself, because no one else really ever did anything for me. My biological egg donor, she was too busy doing whatever it was that she wasn't doing to be a parent. And my dad, even though he was in the picture, they had that joint custody where he got me on the weekends type situation. So like, and he only picked me up every other weekend. He picked me up on his paydays, which, you know, cool, fine, whatever. But in between that time period of hanging out with my friends, growing up, just going through the angst and whatever of being a tween to a teenager and like dealing with all that stuff, that's what kind of kept me grounded, was like collecting those cards, trading them with the couple of friends that I had that were into those cards, and that was something special for me. So I know a lot about these things, but I'm not like biblical about it in the sense that I could just be like, oh yes, well, Maximus of the Immortals did XYZ and blah 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 blah, and like I can't quote it like scripture, like the comic book nerd from The Simpsons could, for example, or whatever. But, you know, it's something special to me. So the other thing, I fucking love going to the movies. That is a special thing for me. Like, I am such an easy, cheap date. Like, we could go to Burger King and then go to the Dollar Tree for theater snacks, and then go to the movies, and I am a happy person. Like, that is my ideal date night or whatever, is just being casual, going to the movies, relaxing, watching something brand new unfold in a cinematic universe, and just enjoying yourself. Like, there's been a couple of times that I've actually stood in line for several hours to see a movie. The longest one I stood in line for had to be X-Men 3: The Last Stand. We stood in line for probably 4.5 hours for that one. And any of you who've seen X-Men: The Last Stand knows that it was not stand in line for more than 15 minutes. But it was an experience, and it was fun, and I can't remember some of the other movies that I like. There's only been like a couple of other movies that I stood in line for. Twilight was one of them, and Lord of the Rings was one of them. So, and the only reason I stood in line with Twilight is because my niece at the time, she was like that tween age that Twilight was like kind of geared toward, and so she was really into the whole idea of Bella and Edward and Jacob and all that other stuff, and hence the reason my cat's name is Bella is because she named it. So yeah, there's just been a few movies like that that I've actually stood in line for. I think Harry Potter was another one of them. But yeah, my all-time favorite movie theater though is Regal, and I will go out of my way to drive to a Regal theater before I go to any other theater. And the only reason that I saw some movies at a different theater is, one, there may not have been a Regal around, or two, I didn't have the money to get to Regal, and it was a lot easier for me to just go to the theater in town. But yeah, so I'm not going to give you any spoilers about the movie, except for the fact that it is going to be freaking amazing with part 2. There was a couple of points in the movie where it like dragged out, but it was also establishing newcomers to the storyline and like showing the interconnectivity of things. And so but yeah, part 2 is going to be freaking phenomenal, especially if it plays out the way that I think it's going to. Really, really awesome. So yeah, and then outside of all of that, I have been just doing my little regular crafting things. I crafted yet another little eyeball box, and I still got to do some painting on it. That's why you see a lot of this like white open spots. But this one I'm not going to add eyelashes to, because it's got like a demon dragon eye. So yeah, but just been having fun doing my little arts and crafts and stuff, and pouring some candles. I've always loved making candles, and it's something that I'm doing right now. And a friend of mine happens to actually be at a craft fair. She poured just over 80 candles in the last 24 to 48 hours just for this fair. Like, she got accepted into it last second type situation. There was a cancellation and she got to go into it, and so she's all set up at the fair, and I'm like really kind of happy for her. I'm just like, yeah, good job. We still have, I feel like there's a little bit of a competition between the two of us right now, and I don't see it as a competition, because what she's doing and what I'm doing are two different things. Yeah, we're both making candles, but I don't know. I don't put myself in competition with people. I never have. Just like, whatever. But I'm really proud of her for like getting these things together, and she's been wanting to do this kind of stuff for a while. She used to do candles when she was younger, and she used to like she's a creative person, and I absolutely love her creativity and stuff. So I'm probably gonna swing by and go say hi to her and see her little setup or whatever, and then just kind of go do my day. I gotta go get my money order for my rent today, and maybe pick up something for dinner. I don't know, but yeah, as usual, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So anyways, guys, I feel like I'm starting to ramble, so I am going to let you go. Thank you if you watched this far into the video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, put them in the comments section down below. Make sure to check out the new community tab that is available, because you guys are awesome, and we got my viewership and subscribership up. I would still like to get into the 1,000 mark. So, if you could make that happen, that would be freaking amazing. So share my videos, or like let people know about them if you think that stuff that I've talked about has been helpful. It's all really, really awesome of you. Check out the links down below to like some of the different things that I do and what's going on. All of my social media is there, so if you want to follow me on like TikTok or Instagram or whatever else, I usually post stuff on those platforms that I don't post anywhere else. Same thing with the blog. Head on over to the blog, hellocupcakeitsme.com, and there's also a link down below for a game that I play called Matchmasters. And if you've ever played Bejeweled or any of those match 3 gem games, similar concept, except for you're playing against people, not against computers or whatever. And it's a lot of fun. You get these booster items, and every month you try to climb higher and higher in the rankings. Right now I got to a legendary status, which I'm like super excited about because I've never been that high up. And just a lot of fun, a lot of good competition, and a fresh take on like the match 3 type of situations. So anyways, until next time, I will talk to y'all later. Bye guys.